Web3 adoption is growing, but not as fast as many people expected. There is more hype about crypto,
Bitcoin, blockchain,
than actual value for customers and businesses. Have you ever stopped and wondered why? We know why, and we stepped up to change it.
Sakura is a consumer-centric Layer 2 protocol with zero transaction fees, enhanced with development tooling that enable embedding complex digital product to Web3 in just one day. Let's cut all the buzzwords and explain how it's set to change the Web3 landscape.
We have gathered top-tier Web3 engineers to build an ecosystem of product that fixes all of the major blockchain user experience problems, like transaction fees, transaction confirmation delays, wallet usability, and security issues. And that's not everything.
We're fulfilling our mission to onboard millions of businesses to Web3. Our comprehensive development libraries and services allow deployment of complex Web3 applications in one day, with no entry fee and no friction for their customers. Doing well by doing good for business and for users.
We understand the value of our community and the power of people. All of our products have been built from the needs of our customers, designed to bring wealth and adoption for businesses and communities.
I welcome you to join our community. We're not only building software, but also sharing a lot of valuable content that help users and businesses to navigate in Web3 easily and benefit from it. Check out our website, sakura.com, for more information.
And we are live. Hello, everyone. Hello, all the listeners. I think, we have already 200 people watching us. So everyone, welcome. Hope this will be an informative AMA. We have Elliot from the Decubate together with us, and we are a little bit more than 24 hours after SKR Token went live to the market. So this AMA is dedicated to get Elliot's professional opinion about how he sees everything from his perspective, and also to discuss some news we just went live today as well. So Elliot, welcome. Maybe you can do a quick introduction about yourself.
Yeah, Marius, Jack, thank you so much for having me. So my name is Elliot Hajimidjar. I'm the CEO of Decubate. We launched Sakura yesterday. It's been trading almost for 24 hours, as you mentioned. A little bit about myself. Started in the crypto space in 2016. I entered the ICO boom, never left it. I was a listing manager in some exchanges here in Europe. Product owner. 3 years ago, I founded Decubate, which is an ecosystem to basically empower projects to manage, launch, and scale their Web3 businesses. So we have more than 500 TVL in our staking products. We have launched more than 25 projects right now. We are advising more than 50. We invest in a lot of them. So happy to be here. Happy to share some of our experience and our opinion in regards to the launch and how we can support it also in the future.
Elliot, first of all, thank you for this great introduction. And I really wanted to really thank you for supporting the project, for executing this smooth IDO, for all the great lessons you gave us, and overall being an amazing partner. So I don't know, applause to you, applause to the whole Decubate team, it is a pleasure and honor to work with you.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you, Marius.
So Jack, maybe a quick introduction about who the hell me and you are, and
we always forget to introduce ourselves.
Okay, so go ahead, man.
So my name is Jack. I'm co-founder, CEO of Sakura Labs, and I just want to also, reflect on basically the success as well, right? Like Mary said, Decubate team has been amazing because they're very honest with us. If we screw up, they tell us right away. So that's the best kind of people you want to work with, right? Because there's no bullshit anywhere, and because when you do things wrong, right? And then you have someone help catch you and put you on the right track. It's the best. Anyway.
Okay. So Elliot, first of all, let's talk IDO. IDO on Decubate. Maybe you can share your perspective on the numbers of interest, on overall how our team performed, and what was your experience working with us and overall evaluating the results?
Yeah, great question. So, and Jack, just to touch really, really close, very, very shortly on what you just mentioned. I don't think that anything went wrong with what you guys did. I think that you're one of the most experienced teams that we have the pleasure working with when it comes to the IDO. We definitely sense that, but we also, when we see something, we like to just give the feedback. Hey guys, just check this out, check that out, without the fluff. In the end, it's the success of the project, the success of the launch is in the interest of everyone involved, right? Like the investors, the VCs, the KOLs, the exchanges, the market makers, you guys, us, and everyone, right? So, and I like the fact that we are also able to give this feedback to you. You never take it personally or those kind of things. And I also want to congratulate you because every single time when there was something, we noticed that you fixed it right away. So definitely the feeling that I share with our entire team is that we are definitely working here with a team that has a lot of experience, which gives me also a lot of confidence that this is really just the beginning. And we have really a bright future of a lot of things that are also going to surprise us, which is something that I really like. When it comes to the launch itself, let's take a look at a few metrics. First of all, I got to say that by far, in compared to any of the other 20 projects that we have launched, we have seen the most traffic, organic traffic coming to our website, the most accounts created. I'm talking about more than 5,000 new accounts were created actually in a week of the IDO. Now, when it comes to participation rates, this was the second highest participation rate that we have ever had on Decubate. The GR round has sold also more than almost 92%, which is really remarkable when you think about it. That means that everybody that whitelisted also participated 100% of the eligible allocation. So if you compare that also with some other industry leaders, they are getting maybe 40%, 50%, 60%. So getting above 90%, which is also one of our best IDOs that we have ever had, I think that really shows also some of the hype that is behind the project and also the community power and everything. What else? Now, now we see also like post-launch, a lot of times we see that most of the volume is coming with projects. And the thing that we are noticing also right now is, the initial sell pressure has already happened because of the token releases for all the investors. We see a stabilization, and now we see a little bit go up. I don't want to talk too much about the price. I think it's but what we're seeing is definitely a lot of volume also coming in. So that's really amazing to see. So yeah, those are a little bit my 2 cents. I think you guys executed really perfectly. And I think that this really provides a great basis also for other people to enter, where it's not like ridiculous pricing of times 100 and whatever, and then something happens and they're holding bags. But this is really like a fair market price discovery, let's say it that way. And it's a good starting point for token launch.
Okay. Yeah, cool. You made such a you actually answered 2 more questions ahead of time. So Jack, your take, maybe some feedback on what Elliot said.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree, right? And I think our approach from the beginning is that we want to really have as many participants come in as possible, right? That's why our project is unusually low on the FDV side, right? I mean, typically for L2, they launched at such high FDV. That's why all these people now start talking about low float, high FDV, right? I mean, we chose to have, first with low float, low FDV. So it's, and I think by starting off at this kind of low range and basically have price discovery and bring all this interest, it really help build the community the right way, right? Because everyone basically started off basically around the same price as the VCs and all these different investors and KOL, right? So instead of so there's no big gap where people are like, okay, when the token get unlocked, then they'll like start freaking all those things, right? So I think it's actually good this way. And one thing that I was telling my team, our team earlier as well, it's quite interesting because we were not just launching our token, we were launching a DEX at the same time. So that was also quite interesting because Taffy went live officially right at TGE. And so far, there's about, I think, 550,000 in terms of transaction with 1.34 million in TVL, something like that on that DEX. And yeah, I spent about 7 hours with the Taffy team during the launch, right? to stabilize and basically make sure the price is pegged properly on the USDC side and all those as well. So it has been a great experience because we have so much support. I mean, from our team, from all of our partners. So overall, I think it just has been great, right? I mean, this is, again, doing OTG is just nerve-wracking in general. And I mean, Eric has seen this with 20 other projects as well, right? Everyone probably feel the same way. And yeah, I mean, I don't know. How do you feel, Marius, when we kick off?
I haven't seen you smiling for such a long time, straight for a very long time. So like we have been like super humble like for the last few months, and today Jack has this like childish smile that everything is set, everything is moving ahead, and he is like a little bit proud of himself, you know, for executing
it took
everything.
quite a bit of work to prep, right? So I mean, finally, I think we get to sleep for like maybe at least 8 hours, and then to start again.
Yeah, so I wanted to say one thing, like for all the listeners, especially if you're planning to trade, nothing we say here is a financial advice. So do your own research, understand how the DeFi works and how everything works in financial world overall. Do your own decisions, and we are not here to say anything. Though one thing I really want to tell, be really aware of scams. We see because the project seemed to got like quite a lot of interest. There are so many scams happening around. So what you can do, you can literally, first of all, if you use official links. So first of all, sakuru.com is an official website. Yes. So if you do need to do any activities, this is your go-to. Don't use Google, because the scammers and hackers can just buy the keywords for Sakuru, and they can like put the fake links. Always check the link in the URL section. The other thing, if you need official links to trading pools and to the markets, also I recommend you to go to sakuru.com and use this website, not to look at it, because even right now our analytics team is reporting that there are constantly fake pools, scam pools created with the same token name. You need to understand that everyone can launch, let's say on Binance chain, BNB chain, everyone can launch their own token with the same name. So there are so many people who are trying to, scam you and do really unwanted activities and make you lose your assets. So you really need to be careful. So I wanted to just go through it, that people can find all the official links over here and all the necessary data as well. So next thing, if we are done with the Decubate, maybe we can have some look to some community questions. I think it's shout out to the people who are listening. Infinix Pertama saying hope Sakura will trending and moon soon. I don't see many questions. Actually, yesterday we had quite informative AMA, so I think a lot of these questions are already answered. If you want to ask anything, just feel free to drop a comment in the on our Twitter or also YouTube. We're just gonna see it right away and we're gonna take it and answer it. I wanted to go through a couple of the most recent updates. Let me just switch the screen. So I wanted to remind people. Okay, cool. So first of all, I wanted to remind people that there is a trading competitions going on. You can get all the information on the BitGet. There is a promotion happening there. And there is 98,000 worth of SKR tokens as a rewards for traders. Also, on top of that, there is also a promotional campaign happening on MEXC, and the reward pool is 50,000 USDC. So if you want to participate, you can find all of this information in our official Twitter. Just scroll through the posts and you will get it there. Or we have been sending email campaigns, and there is also a Medium article with all these references. Yeah, and I also highly encourage everyone to check it out. Daffy, as I said before, do your own financial research. But what we want to present, Daffy, is the DeFi layer of Sakura blockchain. So first of all, we are part of the founding team, and we created this ecosystem of gasless trading platform for people to trade various of cryptocurrencies real time without no gas fees. Okay, that's a very quick update from my end. Anything you want to share, Jack?
I think you want to touch on the latest announcement as well, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah, let me. Okay, so maybe you can present what's happening here.
I mean, the best person to present this is probably Nelly. But anyway, so for those of you who know how our chain works, right? So we're, like Mary said, it's a gasless chain. It's a very fast blockchain. And one thing that we also do is actually a permission chain, right? And since it's a permission chain, that allows us to work with all these different types of organizations. For this case, it's government organizations, right? Because they want to make sure that there's level of control and on like project that come on our chain so that their users don't end up getting scammed, for example. So in this case, I don't think we can talk too much into the details, but essentially it's a collaboration with there's a few countries that essentially will receive foreign aid. And also there's all these different cities that are working on collaborating together to solve many problems. Like, for example, the carbon emission issue, right? So there's carbon credit, there's tokenization of lands, and these are essentially what will become smart cities. So there'll be a lot of work, and they're looking to utilize Web3 technology to solve a lot of this problem. So I think I don't think I can go much further than that until the official announcement coming out from these guys. But yeah, I mean, that's a general idea, right? We'll be working with a lot of different governments and also different partners actually in this. We won't be doing this alone.
Okay, what I do really love about this Twin Cities initiative, and I think Elliot can also participate here a little bit because we are both out from Europe, that also Ukrainian cities are also participating. From my perspective, like I have been a huge supporter of Ukraine since the war broke off. We like both countries, my country, Lithuania, and Ukraine is sharing kind of almost similar history of over 60 years of Russian Soviet Union occupation and repressions. So in this case, we do really support Ukrainian people, and seeing them digitalizing, like digitalization is one of the first steps towards reducing corruption, empowering people to do better, and overall creating a better society. So I don't know, Elliot, what's your do you have any sort of take? I know I'm calling out you, but what do you think about this news?
I think that so what we see right now within the ecosystem happening, which is something that is on the horizon since I even entered the space very early on, like in 2016. 2017 was like the ICO boom, and then in 2018, during the bear market, everybody was now talking about the Internet of Things and like tokenization. We call it like STOs, and when much more Web2 companies, but also infrastructure, is going to actually utilize blockchain technologies, whether it's smart cities or elections or top 500 company, SP 500 companies, like really using blockchain in a sense. And I think that what everyone or a lot of companies are really waiting for, but also a lot of these smart cities and so on, is really about from the regulatory perspective, right? I think it's also very hard for them to understand. I also think that, so there's a couple of things here. First of all, the regulatory clarity. Second of all, I think the scalability. And then third is not just the education, but how easy is it for them to actually integrate and utilize this technology? And I think that we are now coming to a very interesting point within this ecosystem where all these three things are actually coming together, such as yourselves. You're coming now also with a super highly scalable chain where they can basically utilize it without having the token or paying gas fees and these kind of things, right? Like you are really focused on the user-centric usage of it. Now we have also a combination of within Europe, you have MiCA coming up with regulatory clarity. I think that that's also really gonna set up a lot more clarity also for other countries. Like usually in Europe, we follow what's happening within the US, but within the US, you know, they have their own problems with the SEC. I know it all sounds like a lot of boring stuff, but like this is really happening right now. Like we should really see within, I believe, very shortly, like sooner than ever. I'm not going to say it's going to be happening in a year or in 2 years, but it's definitely coming, where we're going to see much more, hopefully much more adoption into blockchain outside of just speculating and these kind of things. I think that DeFi is really making a lot of progress. I think that scalability is making a lot of progress, but actual usage from, let's say, people that don't even understand that they're using Web3. I think that that's the next step. And I think that that's why it's super interesting that you see these smart CDs that are already starting to plan of how to utilize this within their infrastructure in the future.
Okay. Yeah, I totally agree. I personally, I don't see that happening on the public permissionless chains, because even you can see that we are launching the utility token, and there are literally like 20 different scam tokens created just for that. Imagine how can any government like go on such a ecosystem which has like pretty much no rules. Like it's a huge barrier for them to overcome, like to even almost embrace the anarchist approach on the data storage. So we kind of look out, even though we are heavily focused on the GameFi at the moment. There we see most of the projects coming in, but part of the team is like literally working super heavy on getting into like institutions and the governments to actually build something for everyone, you know, like not only for gamers. Mm-hmm. I see one question from the community. Freddie is asking, what are the narratives that you're going after on your layer 2, mainly gaming? So maybe like I already started to answer it, but maybe Jack, you
I can cover this. So I mean, the reason we call ourselves consumer-centric layer 2 protocol, right, is exactly for this. So I mean, even though we are sitting on top of Oasis layer 1 protocol, which is a gaming chain, right, we actually saw the technology and then use it to our advantage, because when we have no gas fee, it reduces the friction for any kind of users, right? So in terms of the pipeline for this year, so far, about 70% of the project that will go live on our chains is going to be games, right? And that's why you're probably going to see a lot of announcements about games on Twitter feed, for example. And then about 10% will be to do with education, so certification, even security on campuses, student ID, those kind of stuff. And then the last 20% will be on the retail side, right? So retail cover RWA, CRM. We have like all this carbon credit stuff, and then there's a bunch of other things, restaurant, fashions, right? So these are basically the last segment. And I think partly because like I think for Web3 adoption, gaming is still going to be at forefront, right? Leading people to come in, because I mean, when people play games, and I think in the near future, when people play Web3 games, they won't even know it's Web3 games, right? Until when they're like, oh, how come I have my asset and I can do whatever I want, right? So that's when really people will realize, and when Web3 is integrated more seamlessly into all these games, and starting off with no gas fee, allow anyone to do all these different activities and really give a better, I guess, an enhanced experience to the existing gaming experience in Web2. That's when I think there'll be a lot of people coming in. So that's why gaming is definitely one of the core focus that we have.
It's like almost an entry point, right? Like because right now, like these are the most tech savvy people are at the moment. I think I would add a little bit up just on this. So when we build our technology, it's not only a protocol, it's also the developer tools. So we are identifying these small areas, how we can speed up the development for medium and small size businesses. So imagine even right now, if you would want to integrate blockchain technology, let's say like a smart contract based solution to your retail store to manage a loyalty program. There are so many different components, very complex digital components that needs to be coded, like even basic smart contract event tracking, right? If you need a custom event tracking, you need to build quite a complex solution which costs you a lot of money. So by removing these frictions and making it really seamless for developers to just build the product, we can help to make adoption faster. And these are not very complex products. The only you need to do is like digitalize, package it, and make it really comfortable for these small and medium-sized enterprises to access. And then you can apply the same concepts to gaming, you can apply the same concepts to retail, because everything is digitalized. So it's just a matter on how you're going to use it. Okay, so I think we've covered quite a few things for today. We are 27 minutes in. Elliot and Jack, do you want to share anything additionally, or maybe you have some community questions on the top?
Yeah, I think one thing. Yeah, no, go ahead for the question. I'll end up the.
So this is like very quick question: is the dev kit already available? Yes, dev kit is already available. We have our mobile wallet SDK clients. We have APIs. We have event tracking available. We are packaging it to make it more accessible for every developer. So basically, in the next 1 or 2 weeks, we are launching our self-service portal. Right now, we help these developers to launch these products and packages themselves. But in the next 1 or 2 weeks, everyone will be able to kick off these services under fully by themselves. So I think that will also kick off the next stage of the growth. Okay, yeah, sorry, Elliot. I cut you off because I've seen this command and I just wanted to address it.
No, it's all good. Yeah, I want to thank the listeners, and I also want to give a last shout out, like congratulations on the launch. This is really just the beginning. Obviously, you know that we are here to support you with whatever it is that you do also in the future. Obviously, we have more than 120 projects that are currently using our infrastructure. So definitely also GameFi and some of the education projects. And if there's other things that you're going to look for, we're definitely going to make the introductions. I definitely see a lot of use cases here and a lot of ways for us to collaborate also beyond just launch. And for those who are listening, just so you know, if you missed the IDO and you regret this, even watching this video in a week from now, there's going to be a pretty major event also still on Decubate, which is called the Learn to Earn. So we're going to have a pretty big campaign which consists out of you answering some questions in regards to Sakura, and then you can basically whitelist for a pretty big giveaway of 800,000 tokens. So that's going to be an ongoing thing. You don't need to do anything. You can still like register to Decubate, have a tier, and then do it. Definitely check out the entire ecosystem.
Elliot,
that's kind of a final
very good point. This is a very good point. We had a lot of people who were sad about not getting enough tokens from the season 1. The thing is, we had over 170,000 participants, and we had only 2 million rewards for season 1. So when you split it off, people were getting like 5-6 tokens each, especially the ones who didn't farm hard enough. So this Learn to Earn campaign, I think it's an absolutely amazing opportunity for these people to fill their bags in by just doing Learn to Earn and learning more about Sakura. So this is I'm really glad you've mentioned it. And if you were not happy with the 5 or 6 tokens, if that's not enough, you have an opportunity to just go on Decubate and claim your tokens from learning.
Yeah, and it's most likely going to be way more than just a few tokens, just so they know. So like when it comes to participation rates, we're not talking about millions of users and these kind of things, right? So these kind of big rewards are also given to those that actually take the time to do the KYC and these kind of things. So it's not susceptible for bots. That's why there is a more fair distribution also when it comes to these rewards. The reason why we didn't do the Learn to Earn yet is because Decubate is now building a new technology, which we actually finished. That means that everything that we do on our launchpad is permissionless, right? So you still need to pay fees. We now built a nice technology, which also allows users to now participate in our events without even paying any fees, any gas fees. So you just need to sign a transaction to recognize this is your wallet, and that's it. And that saves you also, again, like $1 or $2. But again, if you're talking about tens of thousands of users, that adds up. So that's why we wanted to wait just a little bit before we go on with this campaign, because it's going to be for an entire month. So there's going to be a lot of opportunity and a lot of time for people basically to learn much more and then answer the questions and be part of this.
Cool. Jack, do you want to mention a router protocol as well?
Oh yeah, sure. So we actually have so router protocol is it's a great partner that we have. So if you guys have tried using Nitro, that's basically that product, right? So we've been working on the plumbing work to connect Sacru to 26 other chains, and that's why you're able to essentially buy any token on our chain using any token on those 26 other chains very seamlessly, right? So with the special promotion that we have for the first 2 months, there will not be any bridging fee at all when you bridge an asset coming from other chain to Sacru, right? So anything inbound, there will be no fee at all. So that's, I mean, thanks to the router protocol team for this collaboration and also this promotion. And yeah, so that's it. And what Maris has on screen right now, that's the screen, right? So you can bridge, you can, I mean, essentially you don't need to bridge, right? If you have, let's say you have ETH on Arbitrum, right? And you want to buy Sacru token on Sacru, all you have to do is select what asset you have, and then the destination asset, and that's it. And you'll end up with the token that you want on the chain you want. So yeah, it's that simple.
Okay. Thank you, everyone. I think we can close this. Everyone, if you're not in our Telegram community or if you're not in our Discord community, for all 2,700 people who are watching us live right now, I really invite you to join there. We have a really great community management team. We will answer your question. We do announcement there. We basically the community members get the first information always, like all the announcement, everything in the community first. So I really thank you. Thank you, Jack, and thank you, Elliot, so much for joining us today. And I really wait for that Learn to Earn campaign. And also, I'm really waiting for bringing more projects to Decubate. Like we are crafting some really hot games right now together with the partners.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. Thank you so much for having me, and definitely looking forward to this ongoing collaboration.
Yeah, and thanks again for your help. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
All right, see everyone.
Web3 adoption is growing, but not as fast as many people expected. There is more hype about crypto than actual value for customers and businesses. Have you ever stopped and wondered why? We know why, and we stepped up to change it.
Sacru is a consumer-centric Layer 2 protocol with zero transaction fees, enhanced with development tooling that enable embedding complex digital product to Web3 in just one day. Let's cut all the buzzwords and explain how it's set to change the Web3 landscape.
We have gathered top-tier Web3 engineers to build an ecosystem of product that fixes all of the major blockchain user experience problems, like transaction fees, transaction confirmation delays, wallet usability, and security issues. And that's not everything.
We're fulfilling our mission to onboard millions of businesses to Web3. Our comprehensive development libraries and services allow deployment of complex Web3 applications in one day, with no entry fee and no friction for their customers. Doing well by doing good for business and for users.
We understand the value of our community and the power of people. All of our products have been built from the needs of our customers, designed to bring wealth and adoption for businesses and communities.
I welcome you to join our community. We're not only building software, but also sharing a lot of valuable content that help users and businesses to navigate in Web3 easily and benefit from it. Check out our website, sacru.com, for more information.